Weld tracking with BIMAS WEB. Within the European Community, various directives have been published. These directives are legally binding and define the minimum requirements to be fulfilled. For the construction of equipment operating at pressures exceeding 0.5 bar G, the relevant directive is the Pressure Equipment Directive from 2014. Now, this presentation is intended as an introduction to the software, without detail. Slide 2 shows photographs of a typical fabricated unit within a coal-fired power station. Fabrication is by means of welding designed to operate at elevated temperature and pressure. This component requires more than 2,500 individual welds, some with and some without post-weld heat treatment. The scope of NDT also differs. The tracking of all these welds manually can result in errors such as missed repairs and incomplete testing. As indicated, BIMAS WEB provides several benefits. The three modules provide weld and test status, progress, and conformity to code information and reporting. The multilingual function enables users to select their preferred language. Reports produced by BIMAS WEB can be printed in the selected language or as specified in the Print Request dialog box. With so many welds of different types, materials and sizes, welded over a period of many months, accurate tracking of each individual weld can be a problem. RIF System House has developed a software that is capable of logging all activities, providing follow-up and information on status. Both the manufacturer, erection contractor, and responsible authority are required to perform tasks based on the designated module of the directive. Steam boilers are generally required to be in conformance with Module G. BIMAS WEB permits both erection contractor and responsible authority to execute their tasks and record them. The information can be printed as reports and records providing documentation for the boiler. These form a part of the manufacturer's declaration of conformity supporting documentation. BIMAS WEB provides the possibility to give each weld a unique to the project identification. But this is dependent upon structured weld lists, weld plans, identifying the project and drawing numbers being entered into BIMAS WEB with material, dimensions, weld process, etc. Also, master data entries are complete and updated, for example, welder qualifications. Welding data is entered into BIMAS WEB as soon after completion of welds. The same applies to post-weld heat treatment and non-destructive examination. The three modules available in BIMAS WEB have, as indicated by their names, specific functions. Users assigned to a project by the contractor for BIMAS WEB or BIMAS evaluation must be given specific rights. These rights are based on each user's function. They are grouped into administration, progress, welding, heat treatment, and non-destructive examination. The responsible authority module is accessible only to the assigned inspectors. Details of the user assignment will be covered during training. As a key component, the indicated information, so-called master data, must be entered into BIMAS WEB. It is briefly described in slides 40 to 22. BIMAS WEB will show the actual progress achieved by means of color. Colors applied to weld position are black, not started, blue, welds created and identified, yellow-lila, welds have been executed and welding data entered, red, non-destructive testing has been assigned, green, all welding activities as specified are complete. As in welding position, the color of welds indicates progress. In this position, color shows that welding has commenced. Blue, all welds have been assigned an identification. Yellow-lila, some welds have been completed, no testing assigned. Red, tests assigned. Green, specified activity is complete and satisfactory. Here, the different colors are described. The traffic light coloring for the status of non-destructive testing is indicated here. This coloring applies to all activities for welding, including misalignment and post-weld heat treatment. BIMAS WEB will only enable a weld position to be closed when all assigned activities are indicated as green. This also includes any repairs and associated increased testing scope. The schematic shows the BIMAS WEB setup. As it is a web-based application, the actual program is on a central location. Each user receives access to his specific project database by means of a specific web address, for example riff.webdemo.com. Here, the weld tracking process is described. The flowchart on the right side of the slide is a simplified process flow of weld tracking. BIMAS WEB permits the evaluation of status during each phase of the tracking operation. As described, the color coding of the activities must reach complete conform before the final documentation can be issued. It is possible to produce intermediate reports that can be used as daily records during erection execution. Data required before welding start is shown in points 1 and 2. Points 3 to 5, with weld tracking data entered as each activity is completed, BIMAS WEB will be able to show status, outstanding work, etc. When a welding position is completed, Inspection and test status records can be generated as Enddokumentation point 6. The following slides will show the BIMASWEB operating windows that you will see when using the software for Weld tracking, BIMASWEB module. To enter the program, you will see the login window shown here. You can select your preferred language here. After selection, enter your assigned username and password. By clicking on Enter, you will be required to register, then enter your access key sent after registration. After successful registration, RIF Support strongly recommends that each user changes his/her password. Details on how to do this will be covered during training. Once logged into BIMASWEB, the RIF desktop appears. The slide shows the Application Explorer. The following slides will show you the operating windows you will see when using the Weld tracking module, outlined in yellow. Click on BIMASWEB to enter this module. Project data required, outlined in yellow, as indicated in slide 40 for points 1 to 3, are handled in the following two slides. The correct functioning of Weld tracking can only be maintained when the required data is entered and updated regularly. All companies performing welding, heat treatment and non-destructive testing must be entered into this section. After entering these companies, they must be assigned to the project. How this is done will be shown during training. If the responsible authority assigned to issue the CE conformity declaration is contracted to use BIMASWEB, then this shall also be entered into the company's database. After the companies have been entered, the personnel, welders, weld supervisors, heat treatment supervisors and non-destructive testing operators must be entered. Qualification details for welders, including skill tests, must be logged. BIMASWEB contains a list of welder qualification designations according to EN 287. These cover those typically used. Should additional qualification designations be required, please contact RIF Support. Weld lists, weld plans need to be entered into BIMASWEB. These lists provide information on welds, required materials, dimensions, joint type, etc. In addition, these welds are subjected to the same pre- and post-weld heat treatment specification and non-destructive testing. With all data entered into BIMASWEB as described, weld tracking can commence. Enter the weld tracking mode by clicking on Order, then Welding Position. Here all positions entered into BIMASWEB are shown initially in black. The first action will be to assign a welding company to each position. During training, this will be covered. The next step is to create welds in the position where welding has commenced. It is possible to assign all welds or just those being welded on a daily basis. Further details during training. A position that has welds assigned but no welding activities are colored blue. Once welding data has been input but no NDT, the position will be lila, CHSRG AUX 006. Each weld entered will be colored yellow. Once NDT has been assigned and results entered, the tested welds and position will be in red. With all welds welded, heat treatment if required, and NDT are complete in conformance with the specifications, the position will be colored green. In addition to the weld position coloring, the actual status of NDT is indicated in the Inspection Plans directory. For each position, there will be a table of test methods and scope. This shows welds welded, tested, accepted or rejected. In addition, for each test assigned, the status is indicated below the summary table. As for all process steps in weld tracking, the color coding follows the same principles. The summary table will remain black for each test method until all results are in conformance to the specification. This includes repairs and associated increased scope. The test method will be in green at this point. The lower table for test method summary will show a red bar at that state until completion, then green. Typical test reports that can be prepared and printed during project execution are shown here. Details of such preparation will be given during training. RIF Support hopes that this presentation has shown the advantages of using BIMAS WEB for weld tracking. Should your project wish to use this software, then detailed training and support will be provided. Should you need any further assistance, contact information are shown in this slide.